What's the difference between Athens and CREATE protocol? This is a great question. And the big difference, there's several differences, but what Athens protocol does is it actually reduces irregularity of the cornea with topographic guided ablation and freezes the cornea into place with corneal cross-linking. It's called the Athens protocol because it was invented by Dr. John Kanellopoulos, who's from Athens, Greece. The two technologies, originally the topographic guided ablation and corneal cross-linking, actually were invented by Theo Seiler. But the difference here is that the epithelium, the clear skin layer over the stroma on top of the cornea, can compensate. It can literally compensate and thick and thin over that cone for keratoconus. Okay, so literally thins over the cone. The problem is the topography systems can't measure that. It becomes essentially a mask. So what we found is a way to treat that, and we've measured it, and it turns out that it actually is about 24% of the irregularity on average when we looked at this and studied and treated. That's a pretty big amount. And the second thing that's the difference is, and what we do is when we treat that, we treat it by removing that irregularity and then, of course, going through with the topographic guided ablation, which leads to the second difference. The second difference is that we are going more for a refractive effect. In other words, we're using the full amount of astigmatism as measured by the topography system to try to get as much of a vision improvement with a refractive improvement, a significant refractive improvement as well. This allows the chance for getting closer to not even needing glasses, which is really pretty amazing when you think about it for keratoconus. And finally, we don't use mitomycin C, which is a medicine used that causes hazing. Now, to prevent hazing, it turns out with cross-linking, it increases hazing. That was part of the protocol for Athens protocol. I'm not sure if they're still using that because that was a separate paper that came out. But what we found was with the CREATE protocol, we went from about 32%, which was the modified Athens protocol irregularity reduction in the first paper I wrote about this, to now 57% with the CREATE protocol. This is a huge difference. And most of our patients seem to end up in the 2020 to 2030 range by eye, per eye. Most of them end up there, which is amazing for keratoconus. So it really does seem to make quite the difference.